Okay, hello everybody. So, can I assume after a week of rest, your brain is like more fresh, okay? Regarding chapter 9, right? No, wow. Then what? How long do you need? Anyways, for chapter 9, right, I will definitely start next week. I can actually start today. Some of the classes are actually only one now. Okay. One of the classes that I have actually started chapter 9 already because they can cooperate, and then they actually did most of the exercises here already. Okay, so what about you guys? Anybody wants me to do chapter 9 already today? But wow, okay, I know. But without notes, so mm, yeah, but sorry, gotta follow majority lah. Okay, and you, right? Did you try the questions over here yet? Because actually a lot of students say cannot do. They say very hard. Did you try? Oh, holiday mode lah, I say ma. Okay lah, so since holiday mode, right, today, I think you just stop, just stay with chapter 8 first. Then next week, make sure you request your notes, okay? So then when you get your notes on chapter 9, and then we'll start chapter 9. It's not hard, chapter 9 is not hard, but it's not hard to learn. But some questions may be very confusing. Some are certain. Okay. So well, I think it's decided. We do chapter 8 and then finish first. And next week I won't be coming back so soon. So for the questions you see over here, you try your best to finish as many as you can, and then we go to chapter 9. So any objections? Remember to request your notes. Okay then. So we start. Question number 1 is actually pretty tough. I'm not sure if you all have tried it yet or not. Okay, but I think you need paper. You definitely need paper. Question 1 is at the very least it's a lot of work. So go get yourself a piece of paper. Okay. Yeah. Good luck, guys. Okay, let's read the question first. Variance in the P and blah 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 is 5.84. Okay, today is your holiday mode. I will give you the formula. Sorry, let me wipe my saliva off my iPad. Sorry. Okay, A. Because the keyword is out, variance. It's this cherry square. Okay, and I memorized formula for you lah. Your holiday mode, right? Next time you do it yourself. Okay, so then uh it, you see in the formula you need another formula which is mean. I give you that as well. Mean. Okay, told you, all right. During your holiday, you should actually still study, because you don't. If your brain, you don't use your brain for too long, it gets a bit rusty, Okay, so did you all study? No, that's why maybe later some of you will struggle a bit more, because your brain rusty already. You gotta get the engine started, You need more effort. Okay, back to this. Yeah. Okay, the mean. Do not be afraid of unknowns anymore. For the bracket, oh wait, still gonna come up. The brackets here I expanded right away because we are dealing with plus here, so nothing nothing dangerous. Okay, but if you are dealing with minus, then the brackets matter. Okay, but yeah, if you want to keep the brackets, go ahead. So sum of f is like 1, 3, 4, 5. Because you see that variance you need mean, so dia tak bagi mean, so you need to do it yourself, okay. Um, Now we can come back to the variance. They did give us the variance, so you're gonna substitute back into the formula. Then here, oh my god. It's, yeah. You're doing with me, right? Okay. Um, it's not like enjoy doing all this as well. See all this work. I understand if in the exam you see a question like this, they just give you 4 marks. I know some of you just skip right away, but try first lah. Maybe you could do it, right? So I'll give you some time to check whether you know where to find these numbers or not. Maybe some of you you still need. Teacher, what do you mean by the f? Kenapa sum of fx? Okay, f is frequency and okay, how many times? Usually Form 4 version, you do all of the data they appeared once are usually just like there's only one of each. So the frequency doesn't really matter. But Form 5 you're gonna do this anyway, so I'll write you the Form 5 version. Frequency is like oh if you have a five five of the same thing lah. Then you five bracket whatever. Okay. So you know where to get all these values? Here is where the worst part is. But I ask you office. You see all these brackets square? Anybody here doesn't know how to expand brackets? How to expand the square like this? Bracket square. If all of you know, then I'll just do it right away. If anybody, just one single person, nobody will know. I'll keep you anonymous. I will not mention your name. Okay, so do not have to worry. Oh, others might judge me or judge you. Okay. So once again, anybody doesn't know how to expand the bracket square? So everybody knows that. Then I'll do it right away. I see you are doing it right or not. Yeah, that's why I suggest you all still do this, even though we have been stuck with this chapter for quite a while already. But oh my god, you actually have some tough questions here. Now it's not too late to tell me, teacher, I don't know how to expand the brackets. Check one will do. From p minus 5 square and then to p squared minus 10p plus 25. Who doesn't know how to do this? So everybody knows. That's good. Okay. So here's the same. Square basically means the same thing multiplying each other. If you're doing the classic way, I understand you need more time. So later, if you want me to wait for you, you just have to tell me. You just have to type W in the chat. But the questions today are quite hard. Okay, it's very normal for you to ask question, but no questions yet. So need the first calculator. Oops. Now I'll pause for a while and you make sure you you can follow so far. In the meantime, prepare myself some space. No questions. Wow. And continue, ah. Mhm. Okay, I'm a bit scared now to make careless mistakes. So whatever I do here, you can do the same. Like use your pencil and cut off the P square that I've already settled, right? Uh, so I can see better lah. Then I look at the piece, what can be done. Because if you know just one single careless mistake will screw the entire question up. Wait, this is 25. Hey, sorry, I did careless mistake. This is supposed to be 25. Oh my god. Listen, those who were just copying my answer, nobody told me. Huh? How come nobody told me, teacher, your the five there is supposed to be 25? Oh, you're just copying my answer. What the? Be extra careful. I think I should check once more. Oh, no worries, no worries. Relax, relax. Just say. Okay, now how do you continue? Yeah, it's just fraction minus fraction. So what gotta be the same? Denominator's gotta be the same. It's a 5 here, then 25. You can easily make the denominators the same. So times 5 like this. Okay, I can imagine how some students will make careless mistakes for the next step. The elites, I hope you have you be patient, okay? Not everybody is like you are already so good. That's why I do this. Okay, this is the part that I'm talking about. Okay, you're dealing with minus, so make sure you add extra set of brackets here. If you forgot these brackets, then it's a so-called careless mistake. Okay, only with these brackets, then you make sure you will minus everybody, and then you are doing it right. Without the brackets, you only minus the 36. The other two, you left them out. Okay, so this is the right way to do it. Now I draw you the arrows. The what? Yeah, do fancy thing. Oh yeah, you are right. Okay, maybe I should really stay quiet and focus myself as well. My bad. Okay, then you pandai-pandai, you will see which part you have questions for me, then you ask. Because sorry, usually when I speak and write at the same time, I'm prone to make careless mistakes. In the exam, everybody very quiet. Okay, everybody focus on themselves and then do your answer. Okay, sorry. So if you are able to follow so far, this should be obvious enough. It's your quadratic. Why? Because you see p squared and p. Okay, now you chapter 1. Ax squared plus bx plus c. So the one and only way to solve it is to put in general form. Okay, one side must be 0, no fraction, and then you need to press your calculator. Oh, somebody got answer already. I don't know yet, but let's continue solving first. So the ellipse, you try to find any more questions that are very tough. Okay, you think you cannot do. Let's settle everything uh for the chapter 8. Then next week you go to chapter 9. Okay. So I'll continue over here. Okay. The red part over here, a lot of students they will forget. So what do you need to try to remember is when you see the numbers are able to be simplified, you try to do that. Try to remember to do that. And then if A, okay, is negative, you also need to set the good news is if you forget all these things, all these details that I mentioned, calculator will still give you the same answer, but your teacher may want to deduct your marks. Okay. So 讲到 if this is negative 1, then I will need to divide it by negative so that negative becomes positive. Okay. But here the numbers are 4, 20, and 56. So they actually can be divided by 4 together to have this next step. Oh shit, hold on. It's not 16 but 14, right? Hmm. Because they already mentioned the variance of a set of positive numbers. Okay, so that means we will reject this negative answer. They already stated positive numbers only. So final answer P is 7. Out of 4 marks here, I think um, A will have 3 marks already. Then B, let's see. B. In case you miss this thing out, okay, you take a quick screenshot. Let's see where. Oh, I don't have it here, but let me go find the table for you. Those who missed the table. Yeah, I think this one is pretty okay. Effects of plus minus times and divide on each data. only questions like this, you have so-called shortcut. Apply the table like this. You see what is affected by upper, then you just follow along lah. Okay, take a screenshot if you haven't already. You have a question regarding the previous question? Okay. I'll give you 10 seconds to save this screenshot first. But you can start asking what is it that you want to ask. Right, anybody not done with the table yet? That's why B, they actually just give you 1 mark. Okay, 1 mark is enough. Because got shortcut. If you know how to do it, you don't have to redo everything, okay? So, back to this question. Okay, what is it that you want to ask? You don't understand how I get a 225? But why only the 225 specifically you don't understand? Because isn't it the same concept as how you expand these brackets? So be honest, you be honest, like the p minus 5 squared. Are you really able to get to p squared minus 10p plus 25? Are you sure? Oh, now you understand. Oh, okay lor. Wow. You sure confirm Okay. B. Each number is divided by 2, then subtracted by 3. They want you to calculate some new answers. Okay, with that table, now you understand. To find new answers today, and since you guys actually don't have questions, I assume you are pretty good already. Okay, so I'll be writing symbols only. New standard deviation. How do you do it? You're going to use the original or so-called old standard deviation. Okay, then you check. Is it going to be affected by divided by 2? So yes, now you just follow to find your new answer. Okay, is it affected by subtraction, minus? No, so ignore. Okay, they are trying to trick you. Understand? So what is okay? Original standard deviation is actually not given, but you already got your variance So how do you find your original standard deviation? Okay, for the very first question, let me be super annoying and write you formula all the time like this. Okay, so you see that be reminded that variance and standard deviation pretty much the same. They just brought the square over, becomes square root. So now you just have to square root your your variance. Okay, so square 5.84. 2.4166. Okay, now 2.4166 divided by 2. 1.2083. Okay, done with this question. Only A is a lot of work, but you guys can follow. I think it's good. Kind of, it helps you revise on chapter 1, which is another compulsory chapter for the SPM. Okay, so even though the 4 marks a bit stingy, but could have been 5. So, any questions? 5. Anybody wants me to wait for you? 4, 3, 2, 1. See, I don't have. I try not to mention your name so you ask question, nobody is gonna know. Nobody will judge you. Okay. Let's see. So I'll be erasing all this. Let's look at question number 2. I just want to check only if I think it's easy, then I'll skip and find something harder. Okay, let's see. 34 pupils. Number of pupils for the score of 8 is not shown. Okay. Then you can find wow. 24 people. Okay, you can see the score of 5. How many students, right? Okay. Then how do you find the last missing one? Minus kan. and intends to reward the top 6 pupils. If Aliyah obtains a score of 7, does she qualify for the reward? Justify answer. So easy. The highest one is 9 for this whatever lah, for this story lah. Okay. So they are already top 4 here. Okay. So they say only top 6 can have reward ma. So you figure this number out, then you're done. So 24 minus everything. Let's get to that. 24 minus 2 minus 6 minus 5 minus 4. Oh, so there are 7 pupils here that have a score of 8. Okay, but Aliyah only scored 7. Is she gonna get reward? So no because top 4, then another top 2 over here already. Okay, so Aliyah is not one of those top 6. So you say no because what? I mean uh I'm sure you are able to write yourself, but let me see if I write it because Aliyah will not get reward lah because you can simply say because Aliyah is not in the top 6. Aliyah, yeah, just say Aliyah is not in the top 6 because her score is only 7. Okay, so any questions? Next, so not do this question and then B. Okay, B, box plot. So C lah. So if you still cannot, you think you cannot do box plot, okay, then only I do with you. Now, anybody here actually doesn't know how to draw box plot, especially for this question? What do you need? The 5 things. Smallest value, largest value, and then your Q1, Q2, Q3. So anybody still don't know how to find which one? And if only if just one student say cannot, then I'm sure it's full. Okay, so if you can, then you practice on your own. We go to page number 15. Okay, if I'm not mistaken for this class, right? I've never done STEM and leave with you because I believe I've also said try to listen to your school teacher because even if I teach you, I will have to say the same thing. They have the same a fixed format, so it doesn't matter. From my mouth or from the teacher's mouth, we have to say the same thing. Okay, so once again, anybody here doesn't know how to do stem and leaf, including the key. Luckily the key is provided here lah. But if you look at what does it mean, then also you can ask. So anybody cannot do stem and leaf, then I gotta show you. I will show you. You sure? Okay, then part 2, same. If you can, I will definitely I have to discuss this question with all of you. But for the part 2, see if you can cooperate with me or not. Same. If you cannot do, then you just have to say so. Okay, which group has a greater dispersion? Okay, so how do you determine? So this chapter is actually measures of dispersion. There are only 4 measures of dispersion. Previously, I made you do the complete package. You have 7 answers, right? So the actual 4 measures of dispersions are range, interquartile range, variance, and standard deviation. They all work the same. And before the holiday, I also told you their advantages and disadvantages. Did you, Gabi? Anybody wants me to show you, and so you can screenshot whatever, like tell me. Okay. So how do they work? The bigger your answer, then bigger dispersion. Okay, dispersion meaning between data and data, are they very far apart? If they are far apart, then more dispersed. Okay, like if sometimes you get 90, sometimes you just get 10, sometimes you get 30 marks. You see all the scores that you get, right? They are pretty far apart from each other. So this is more dispersed. Okay, if less dispersed, less dispersed is if you have been getting 90, 90, 90, and sometimes 88. Okay, sometimes 89. See, the data, they are pretty close to each other, so that is less dispersed. Okay, I'm not sure why they want greater dispersion here, but we don't judge. Okay, but in general, we understand smaller dispersion means better, more consistent. Okay, generally. Any questions? Part two, what do you need to do? If you are lazy, then you do range, because range is biggest minus smallest. I already told you it's the least reliable, okay, but it still works if you're lazy. Or sometimes if you only have a box plot, then you can only do range or interquartile range. Okay. Now, but if you want the best, uh, uh, you want the best result, okay, out of the four, who is actually the best standard deviation, the most accurate, the most reliable, you know? So since they did not specify, you are free to choose. But either way, the four measures of dispersion, they work the same, okay? The smaller the answer, smaller dispersion, but they want greater, so you choose the bigger answer lah. Okay. As for the justify your answer, you just simply have to say, oh, because group X has a bigger range, 众多 lah. Okay, or because group Y has a bigger range. That's all, nothing complicated. Okay. So one last time. Anybody doesn't know how to do part two after I actually told you what to do? You just have to do it like in the exam. Okay. A lot of work. Very long. No, can do it yourself in the exam. Okay, then we try B. Okay. I'm just worried some of you here, you haven't done a question like this before, and then if they give you something like this, you panic in the exam. Okay, try. Okay, gonna read the question first, definitely. Okay. This is what you're supposed to see for Form 4, but uh, I've always write sum of fx for you. Okay, I explain a little bit on teacher why they did not write the f. Okay, because for Form 4, generally the data size that you're dealing with is pretty small. Okay, see this question is actually just 10 numbers only. Okay, each data probably just appeared once, so the frequency is 1 each. Okay, so you understand, whatever times 1, you get the same thing. So they don't, for Form 4 version, usually they don't bother writing the frequency out. Okay, but yeah, my style, okay, I don't want to memorize so many versions, so I give you the Form 5 version straight away. Okay, because just in case, wow, if you have like um 5 tens, okay, and then you just 5 times 10. You don't have to write 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. Understand? So this is essentially the same as sum of fx. Okay. Also, the 10 numbers here, I can kind of see why they are writing the 10 instead of giving you numbers, because they're trying to hide it. This is important. 10 numbers. Very important information. And what else? If a number h is removed, it is found that the mean is decreased by 1.2. So then you're going to find h. Okay. So do you understand what they are trying to tell you here? The mean is decreased by 1.2. So if the original mean is 10, then 10 minus 1.2 can. But the question is, did they give us the original mean? Not yet. So it's actually your job to go find out lah. Okay. So okay, I'm just gonna write it like this. Mean is supposed to be sum of fx divided by sum of f. Okay. They did not give, but we can actually find, right? Because we already have sum of x, which is the same as sum of fx. Okay, 88. Then sum of f berapa? 10, because I've read the question, and so I know 10 numbers. Divided by 10. Okay. Also turns out the mean originally okay, is 8.8. Then later something happens, and then we follow and find whatever answer they want. Can follow so far? Okay, next. If a number h is removed, okay, sorry for being annoying, but this is for your own good. You don't make careless mistakes, okay? You don't simply apply whatever you have learned. For a question like this, if a number h is removed, can you look at the table? Cannot, because the table is for what? When they do a certain thing to each data. Okay, every single data they be fed, +2, -2, times, divide, that kind of question. But this one is random. So sorry to say, we probably need to redo it, okay, for all the new answers that they are looking for later. Understand? Okay, so now H is removed and then the mean is decreased by 1.2. Okay, so there's some, fine. Okay? You know something happened, so you're gonna have all these new answers. Okay, so the mean is what? Decreased by 1.2. So previously it was 8.8, now decreased by 1.2. You just basically fill in the blanks. When you understand, okay? Of course, the elites, they straight away write 8.8 minus 1.2, they write 7.6, but for the rest, at least I show you in full. Okay, then next time, you become one of those elites and write some faster workings as well. So the elites, you have more compassion. Okay, sum of fx. Okay, so previously was 88. Now h is removed. So what do you do? Minus 1. The previous total was 88. Now you remove h, even though it's an unknown, but you understand removing is like minus 1. Okay, sum of f. Do you know what to write for the sum of f? How many numbers are here now after this something happened? So it was 10. Now one number is removed. So 9. Make sure you really know where I get these numbers. You don't know, then you just have to mention a number and I explain again. Teach you where to find. You sure you can see and find these numbers? Because what comes next is just your basic math. Find h. Hey, how Song Leng, the elites, hopefully you guys are at least not disappointed at the questions that we are trying today lah, because you don't have the chapter 9 yet. And after your holiday, don't know your brains can handle new chapter or not. So yeah. Oh, not so no as in not challenging. I don't know. But I can see a lot of students struggle when they do this. Okay, so H is this. Any questions? Not done yet, can just type W. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I move on to part 2. Sorry, I forgot to label part 1. Part 2. Part 2. Calculate standard deviation for the new set of data. So basically, you want this new standard deviation formula out. Sorry to annoy you guys again, to nag on you again. No shortcut for this question. Okay, to find new whatever lah, no shortcut, because they just did some random modification. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Okay, once again, sum of fx squared basically is the same as sum of x squared, just form 4 and form 5 difference. Okay, because the form 5 is more detailed now, right? But this was the previous one. Previously, 2496. Let me write that down first. But something happened, right? So do you know what you need to do to for this change? So you actually need to minus 19.6 squared. They removed the h, but the calculation over here, they squared all the numbers, including the h over here. It was 19.6, but when it comes to standard deviation, you need to square the data, right? So remember, you need to minus 19.6 square. If you just minus 90.6, it's not good enough. You're wrong. You need to remove its square together. Sum of f is 9. 9 numbers because you are doing new answer. Mean. Okay, lucky. I wrote it over here. Okay, previously 8.8 decreased by 1.2, so 7.6. So yeah, before I continue, make sure you can find these numbers, no problem. Doing questions of this level, wow, it's impossible. You still just memorize it. You want to follow along, you need to ask questions. And it's very normal. You ask questions for these questions. I already told you, considered challenging, considered tough. But the elites, they say, no, not tough, easy. So if no questions still, I just press calculator. And okay, so I previously said standard deviation usually is 4 decimal places. This is what you see in the answer sheet, okay, or textbook. Okay. But this time we get 13.29995. So when you round off, so no choice, it becomes 3. The rest will become 0, no choice. So yeah. Any questions? Not coming back anymore. Okay, you still find any very tough questions at the back? Try to ask me now before we end the class. Even though if you ask next week, I'll still answer you. But hopefully next week we can start chapter 9 already. Okay, no questions. Everybody done. Let's see. I'd like to skip this question as well, but look at how many marks they give you. 9. Okay, this is a very pretty standard exam type question. Is it normal? This one is on the tougher level. They see your luck. Sometimes if your teacher goes crazy, they give you something like this, or maybe even harder. I don't know whether you can find for me or not. But this one is pretty basic. Okay, just a lot of work. Okay, so I'm just going to discuss a bit verbally, and then we go find any more questions that are tough. Okay. So mean range mean is the Barata law, the formula. Range biggest minus smallest, interquartile range Q3 minus Q1, variance formula sector, standard deviation also formula sector, but you gotta do for both. Give you 5 marks here, just a lot of work, but nothing too hard, right? So anybody here wants me to remind you of any of the 5 things here? Like, teach you how to find mean as a how to find interquartile range? Anybody still don't know how to find Q3 and Q1? Okay, then B. With all the answers you get for A, and then they ask you which toll booth blah 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 shows a smaller dispersion. From the mean is doesn't really matter lah. Okay, now do you remember how do you choose smaller dispersion? So all of the one. Okay, they give you 5 things here, but only the 4 at the back, they are measures of dispersion. Mean, mode, median, they are measures of central tendencies. You tak ingat tak apa. The name not important. Okay, but back to these answers. Smaller the answer, the smaller your answer is, the smaller the dispersion. Remember? Okay, so the justify part, you just say they made you do 4, so you can just pick any one to just mention it lah. Okay, so contoh if I look at the numbers, I think Y should have a smaller dispersion. But of course, you need to do the calculation. So contoh Y, all the answers are smaller. Okay, so just say Y is showing smaller dispersion because it has a smaller standard deviation. Okay, If you're lazy, then because it has a smaller range. Understand all? Then you do it on your own. Okay, C. Is range appropriate to use as a measure of dispersion for the above data? Justify your answer. Okay, so I gave you the advantages and disadvantages already, right? So range, what do you think? Suitable? No, usually range, even though it works, but the least reliable. Why? Because biggest minus smallest, you just use two numbers, two numbers to represent the entire set of data. Do you think it's reliable? Not so. When better options are available, you usually go for better options like standard deviation, the best. Okay, but standard deviation also got its own disadvantages, right? Okay, standard deviation is not so suitable when extreme values are present. Remember extreme values? Something data that are too big, suddenly too big or suddenly too small. They are super obvious on all the time. Okay, contoh, the numbers we have here, contoh 10,000. Okay, or contoh you see 0.02. They will make it very obvious for you. Okay, so since standard deviation includes every single number, so when extreme values present, it will affect the answer. It will affect the accuracy. Understand? Okay. So for this one, you just say no. Confirm no. Okay, the justify part. Okay, I write it down for you. Because range uses only the biggest and smallest values to represent. Sorry, after a week break, I forgot how to write. But you can understand, right? Okay. Any particular word you want me to spell like right again to represent the entire, oh my god, the entire set of data. Yeah. Okay. Some of you can say because range uses only the difference of biggest and smallest value to represent the data set data. No, in your own words, as long as you make sure the meaning is there. You have the same meaning. Okay. No questions? Yeah, check. Why? I think I can skip this as well. Because just same like find unknowns, we did that, but feel free to ask me to do it. I'm okay. All right, guys. Nobody picked any special questions yet. Also, hopefully that means you're okay. Then before we officially end this chapter, you still got a bit of time. Why not just finish your two questions over here on page 17? And next week we will do chapter 9 probability. But ask something first, okay, something. Is it because you think chapter 9 is hard? Chapter 9 is can be considered as your last chapter because chapter 10 is a bit weird. Some teachers will just ask you to do school project. I will teach, definitely. Chapter 10 is about money, okay, your income, your cash flow, your income, and then your expenditure, something like accounts, basically. But chapter 9, those who have done chapter 9 at school already, do you guys find it hard? But the questions may be like confusing. Oh my god, right? So those teachers that they are already done with chapter 9, oh why? Did your teacher skip certain parts that even he or she cannot understand? Your teacher finished already. How long did he or she? Chapter 9 is not weird. Chapter 10 may be weird, but chapter 9 is okay. Chapter 9 is probability, like chances. But we'll do it next week anyway. For today, let's see. Uh, I'll definitely show you final answers, but I'll let you try first. At least use 10 seconds to like read the question, then see if you have any questions to ask or not. If you think you can do, we will do together. When you're done, just check the screen for the answers, see you got it right or not. Chapter 10 is easier than chapter 9. Yes, because chapter 9 can get this probability. Yeah. Imagine imagine uh like Toto. Toto. You're trying to figure out what are chances that you're gonna Toto. So yeah, what are chances that you get the specific number that you want? Easy to learn, maybe hard to master. Okay, we'll try it out next week. But for this question, nobody asked anything. I assume you can get the 5 marks. So I start right away. Okay. Cool. They actually want you to find some FX and 25 numbers. In this over. Okay, any questions? 4, 3, 2, 1. Part 2. Think there's something you can do just by reading this question. They said the moon 6. But for these numbers that are added, so some of the numbers are 42. Okay, by doing this, you can actually figure out, oh, actually, how many numbers are added. Okay, so there are 7 new numbers added in. The sum of squares. Okay. Once again, no shortcut for this question because they just did some random stuff. Add random 7 numbers inside. Okay, the one that can do shortcut is when they do the same thing to each data. Okay. Or check. You know where I get those numbers? Why I put it that way? If you can answer, teacher, why 3466 plus 554? Because if you do know how to get those numbers, I believe the last step is just make sure you press your calculator carefully. Okay, finished. Number six should be basically the same. But number six, I did with other classes as well. So I think we are running out of time. You may want to just screenshot. Let's see. Now check number for the question for the B there. Okay, you done yet or not? Anybody not done yet? I'm gonna show you the answer for number six. Then you can screenshot and try at home. Feel free to make me like teach question six next week before we go to chapter 9. All done? Okay, for number six. B, if each number is half. This one can do shortcut, huh? Right? Look at the table, but be careful. You need to calculate new variance. I put a star for a variance. Okay, if each number is half, which means divided by 2, and then you to find new variance, you gotta divide it by 2 square. Remember to square the modification. Excuse me. Okay. Finally, I'll say done with chapter 8. Then next week we'll do chapter 9. And yeah. So if you have no more questions for today, you may go down. Bye bye. Bye, Johannes. Bye, Soli. You're welcome.